Hello everyone, welcome to a new series on my channel looking at Rahu, the north node of the moon, in all the houses of the chart, starting with Rahu in the first house. Video is good for you if you have Rahu in the ascendant of your birth chart D1. Also applicable to a Western horoscope. Just make sure though you have a sign for a house system. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good, give it a thumbs up and let's go. So what is the first house in your chart, everyone? In your birth chart, ascendant is you, your body, the moment you took birth. First breath as an independent living being. It is a sign rising on the eastern horizon. It represents the whole path of your destiny, known as Lagna. This is definitely how you make decisions in life. Your brain, your head, your intelligence, all of your decision-making capability come from the condition of the ascendant. It's how you impact spouse, how you impact business partner, friends, everybody who gets to know you close and personal, they will get to know this ascendant. And who is Rahu? Rahu is the north node of the moon, the point of the eclipse. He is a shadow planet, but he is a rope binding us to eternal rebirth in this material world. Rahu is the most materialistic factor in the whole horoscope. He represents a smoke and illusion, the Maya of this material creation. Rahu is all head, no body. He represents absolutely insatiable desire, but also the exact desire bringing each of us into this incarnation. Rahu represents all the illusion that is so strong in this age of Kali. He is tamas, darkness to the full. Therefore, he has full effect in this present age. He is behind industrial revolution, machinery, everything about computers, technology, digital technology, everything which we manipulate from this material energy. He is in control of it. Rahu, the north node, is fame, power, wealth, and every kind of material gain. But he is a tempter, however, to unethical action, selfishness, guile, manipulation, and falsehood. We have to be very cautious about the area where we have Rahu in our chart because he will conceal the truth. He is all darkness, tamas, and he can cause deception in the areas he rules in our chart. Rahu also rules animal form, non-human form, and he will most definitely punish quickly any unethical actions towards them. You should know this for sure. In fact, one of the quickest ways to mitigate many difficult Rahu karmas is to simply become vegetarian. This will definitely help to calm down Rahu, the north node effect in our chart. So when you have the north node rising in your chart in the first house, Rahu first house, Ketu is in the opposite sign, 7th. This Rahu-Ketu axis, first 7th house, is a Sarpa dosh. This means that you have a definite karmic path laid out for you in this incarnation. Extremely strong binding factors to your destiny and to other people joining you in that destiny because of this Rahu-Ketu across the first 7th house. But to really understand this North Node Rahu first house, it's essential that you understand the desire behind this rebirth, the desire bringing you here. You can only see that by the sign position of Rahu. Check out the video on my channel, Rahu Karmas in all signs. I will link that video below here and also at the end for you. Rahu's so strong when he's rising in your chart. He's a greedy Rahu. He wants more. More of what? More of everything. He's a very ambitious, broking, no interference type of Rahu, but be clear to begin with in your life, he will cause confusion, deception, lack of direction. This will happen because Rahu is smoke and illusion, and this smoke and illusion has come onto your head. It's the first house. You see, Rahu in the first house causes confusion. What should I do? Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? This is what you'll be thinking of straight away because you're waking up to a whole new beginning, everyone. Rahu first house shows a whole new karmic experience, karmic cycle actually, beginning for you in this incarnation. But new beginnings are confusing and you'll always be coming back to this. Have I done the right thing? Am I on the right path? You'll always be questioning direction when you have Rahu first house because you are bound by Ketu. Ketu 7th house binds you to some difficult karmas connected to other people on your path. And you're continually, actually, when you think about it, trying to free yourself from this binding factor. But you will find your path, and often very early in life you can get sudden success, fame, all sorts of things because Rahu is so powerful here. Google the amount of people, actually famous people, well-known famous people in particular, with Rahu, North Node rising. You'd be surprised. There seems to be unlimited amount of celebrities with this position. And depending on the sign and aspect, certainly extreme creativity, extreme ability and charisma, definite inventiveness, even genius, very high intelligence can be shown by this Rahu position. This Rahu can be very selfish, self-centered, sometimes narcissistic, people say, but actually no more narcissistic than a newborn baby. You see, Rahu first house gives you so much energy this life because you know it's a whole new cycle. You are desperate to do something, be something, impress yourself on the world. It's a very strong energy. But Rahu first house will definitely make you restless, anxious, high level of agitation, anxiety, always thinking you should be doing something different, going somewhere else. It can be hard to contain this energy, some people. Now, Rahu is deceit and illusion, and you can deceive yourself with this Rahu first house. Every decision, every new path in your life, think about it quietly. Don't act impetuously, impulsively. That's when you can make some mistakes. But definitely don't be afraid of the new. Rahu can actually help you going to new situations with a great deal of power, especially foreign lands can be helpful for you some cases. Rahu affects your health in the first house, always taking you to extremes. Venus involved, for example, you can have overindulgence, food and drink, compulsive eating, even anorexia. As I say, it's always going to go to some extreme. As I've said, extreme anxiety can be here. Mental health disorders, depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsion, definitely. Rahu is always going to get you in your head, thinking things, overthinking, over worrying, all of these things. And definitely Rahu can even give extreme sensitivity to drugs, food, drink. A lot of allergies can be here. Now, Rahu's full 100% drishti is onto Ketu in the 7th house. Ketu in the 7th house, you see, pulls you into relationships, karmic relationships, situations you cannot avoid, especially when there are planets sitting with Ketu. This is definitely the case. See, you feel that your needs cannot be met in relationships. There's always this push and pull. In the end, you can become very selfish, even manipulative, especially when you have planets with Rahu. But you see, relationships balance you, help you. Don't give up on them entirely, especially, you know, Rahu, 1st house, Ketu, 7th house. Family relationships, having children can be very important for this position. You don't put the energy into relationships that you think you are doing. You think you are listening. You think you are there for your spouse. You think you are doing all the right moves. But then other people tell you they don't experience it like that with you because Ketu is in this house. There's a detachment inside you in regard to your relationships that you need to just think about a little bit. But a balance between your needs, other people's needs is definitely going to have to be found when you have this Rahu Ketu position. Now, Rahu's other 100% sight aspect is on the 2nd house, the house he has just come from because he's going backwards. He was here before he got into this 1st house sign. So Rahu is a bit obsessed by this 2nd house to himself, family situations, money, wealth. He really wants this, but he gets into a big tangle dealing with family very often. And because sight aspects really only impact Mahadasha, when you actually go through Rahu's Mahadasha period, you can have family concerns, family breakups, family hiccups, family difficulties, even wealth can become very extreme. A lot of wealth can be there, but a lot of loss sometimes in this Rahu Mahadasha, depending on your chart, of course. You can have difficulties, by the way, I didn't mention dealing with business situations, business partner, and especially Rahu Mahadasha, this can be the case. You want knowledge, you want it desperately. Rahu aspects 5th house and 9th house. Not as strong as his 2nd, 7th, but very strong. So Rahu here wants education, wants knowledge, but you can be frivolous. You can be stop-start with this education in your life, Rahu 1st house. When you go through Rahu Mahadasha, education, learning, even having children, by the way, becomes really important. There can be childbirth, important changes regard to your children in this Rahu period, and definitely education, guide, guru becomes important. Afflicted ninth house, though, there can be false guru, some deception happening, or you deceive yourself. In general, I've seen Rahu first house difficulties with your father, with authority figures, with mentors, people who tell you what to do. You will never listen to them. So splits with the father. Father's tradition can also be seen. It's a very extreme position then, this Rahu first house. In summary, it can give you extreme power, fame, money, wealth, position, even political power. But it will test you every moment, particularly relationships test you, particularly father sometimes test you. There can be real difficulty with your father. You've got to go a different path, a different way. It can seem difficult, confusing at times, but Rahu will definitely take you into a whole new experience in this incarnation. Check out the Rahu karmas in all signs on your screen right now. Very important to understand Rahu's sign position as well. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now. God bless you all.